Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at the Patek Philippe 3520J. You can see this 33mm yellow gold Patek Philippe ultra-thin watch on our website, watchyouwant.com. You can purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of this video at any time to see our full listing for this Patek Philippe, as well as accessories included and, of course, complete pricing information. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. This is the very image of the classically proportioned men's ultra-thin formal watch. 33mm across the round of the case. The watch is an incredible 5.5mm thick, actually a little bit less than 5.5 in fact, with a mildly sloped hobnail bezel. The watch really doesn't need any help at all fitting under any kind of sleeve or dress cuff. It's remarkably well suited to that occasion, and at 38mm from extremity of lug to extremity of lug, this truly is the proportion of a mid-century formal classic. Now, the 3520 was actually created in 3 different golds, yellow, rose, and white gold, in the early 1970s, and Patek essentially used the watch as a test bed for new styling elements that would become germane to the Calatrava family. While the original 1930s Calatrava was designed as a watch with a tapered lug-to-case interface, a blended look between bezel, lug, and case, this was a much more strident, a much more pronounced, a much more immediate separation between the flanking soldered-on lugs and the round of the case. The watch definitely has more character of a traditional watch in as much as the lugs, the bezel, and the case all really stand out as separate elements. It's a minimalist design, but at the same time, it's a little bit more severe, a little bit more dramatic than a conventional Calatrava, and for that reason, the hobnail really became sort of a cult object within the Calatrava line. There are those who prefer the original reference 96 look with the balanced and blended lugs, and then there are those who prefer the hobnail and straight lug look, which is why both models, both styles, continue in the catalog today. But this very traditional reference deserves a shout out simply because it is the embodiment of ultra-thin dress watch design and engineering. Now, the case itself features a screwed-on case back. It features a sapphire crystal. Despite the fact that this particular reference originated in the early 70s, it is a sapphire crystal, not plexiglass. Now, it's matched to a beautiful, ultra-thin, ultra-flat alligator leather strap, alligator leather on top, calfskin on the back. It features the original Patek Philippe 18-karat rose gold buckle, which you can see to good effect. 18-karat Patek Philippe, oftentimes that particular element is separated from the watch, as these watches effectively are all several decades old now. It's unique to find one that includes all original equipment. Now, the case is in superb condition, and you can see the August 1st, 2005 hallmarkings on the side. You do see Helvetia instead of the modern St. Bernard's head. This is the old hallmark of the 18-karat gold case, the St. Bernard being the new precious metal hallmark post-1995. So this watch is a true veteran in every sense. Now, in addition to a beautifully defined hobnail bezel, this watch has not been polished to death, if it's ever been refinished indeed. All of the facets of the bezel, the case, and of course those beautiful soldered-on lugs are very crisp, and the dial itself is really a throwback. For one thing, it's remarkably minimalist. You can see the Patek Philippe script at 12 o'clock is about as small and discreet as it's ever been. Now today, even Patek Philippe, as conservative as it is, has been called out for super graphics on watch dial faces. Definitely not the case here. Now, all of the Roman numerals, beautifully detailed and beautifully proportioned, complement the black baton hands at center very nicely. This truly is sort of a 1950s throwback in design. Everything from the baton-style hands to the soldered-on lugs, even to the minimalist, partially countersunk crown, really speaks to an era somewhat earlier than the 1970s and 80s heyday of this reference. And inside, Patek includes one of its best. Now, it's called the Caliber 177. It's an 18-jewel manual wind movement with a Gyromax-style balance and an etched-in Geneva hallmark. It's based on a Frédéric Piguet caliber 21, and it's significant because the caliber 177 is in fact 1.77 millimeters thick. That puts it in the same league as the JLC 802 Bausch that became the Vacheron Constantin 1003 and the Audemars Piguet 2003 during the 1950s. Truly ultra thin. That was a watch only mildly thinner than this particular movement, the 1003 being about 1.65 millimeters thick. Today, variants of these movements continue in production, and they continue to vie for the title of absolute thinnest manual wind caliber in the world. Now, it's important to note that this particular variant of a Piguet 21, the Patek Philippe 177, featured a Geneva hallmark which had to be engraved into the bridges because stamping, given the thinness of this movement, would have warped the bridges themselves. Moreover, it's important to note that having been adjusted to multiple positions as well as hot and cold, the sheer amount of work that goes into creating a movement this thin, it really requires the same kind of expertise and accomplishment from the watchmaker that you would have to invest in the likes of a Grande Complication. It is that delicate. And indeed, so are the details of this Patek Philippe 3520. You can see it and you can purchase it on our website, watchyouwant.com.